Hello and good afternoon from Kennington Station. I'm about to get on the Northern Line down the new extension to Battersea Power Station, which is the newest part of the Underground. It's in Zone 1 because on the way in between here, Kennington, and Battersea Power Station is our final decade station as we enter the 2020s. We're going to Nine Elms. The modern day tube station is not the first Nine Elms station in the area, as the London and South Western had a station here in 1838 before the line was later extended to Waterloo. But more importantly, there was a huge goods yard here and locomotive works, and there was a huge steam motive power depot that survived right up until the 1960s. All evidence of it is now completely gone, with the area totally redeveloped, and you'd have no idea driving past today that it used to exist at this location. Outside the station, which opened, I remember being here on opening day. I might have some old footage actually, which was previously unused from my old video, on the 20th of September, because we had a coffee next door in the Sainsbury's. The interesting thing to note is that the Sainsbury's used to be different. In fact, I've got an old photo from a friend which I found on Flickr, which shows how this site used to look like 10-15 years ago when they announced that they were building the extension. They came down and took some photos. But the other fun game that you can play, of course, is to go back on Google Street View, because Google Street View goes back to 2008, and you can click through the timeline and see how there was an old Sainsbury's which was demolished, and then a new Sainsbury's, and then some new flats, and then station being built right up to the current day where Nine Elms Station is now as it is now. So Nine Elms and Battersea Power Station are both in Zone 1 on the tube map. But if you plot the location of those stations on a map, you'll see that really it would make more sense for them to have been in Zone 2. Back in 2021, when the branch opened, trains initially ran only every 12 minutes. Now the service pattern has been doubled so that they're every 6 minutes, and this new branch line is really well used, especially during the peak hours. As it's a new station, it just feels clean. With these expansive, spacious, wide platforms, there's loads of room down here. And unlike Battersea Power Station, which is a terminating station, so it doesn't have benches or advertising, Nine Elms does. There's loads of bench spaces and adverts down the length of the platform walls. And it has just the one set of escalators, 3 in total, with a large advertising screen that dominates as you descend down to platform level. Very shiny, a lot of shiny silver panelling everywhere. What you can also do though is explore, as I'm doing now, the corridors at either end. A tip for any station, look, because you just find this like doorway to an emergency exit. Any station, go to the end platforms, look, another door here that leads to somewhere, and you always find yourself down like a secret passage or a lesser explored part of the station. Nine Elms' centrepiece though is just that. It's right in the centre of the wide single island platform. I've heard some people call this the information arch, where posters and maps get displayed. And I honestly can't think of another tube station that has something like this, unless I'm mistaken. Anyway, time to go and explore up on the surface level. It's kind of fun to walk down the side though, because you can see this here, that building, that is part of Nine Elms. Then there's this sort of empty, spacious area here, and I remember when that used to be the Sainsbury's car park, because the Sainsbury's used to be there. And then you get this the other end, where there's another building here. That's all part of Nine Elms tube station. But I just want to take a quick walk for a deliberate reason in this direction. Yes, behind the station, to the west, northern side, you can walk now underneath the railway, the mainline railway that runs in and out of Waterloo. This was blocked up before. They've now opened an archway, and that can take you through into the Nine Elms area. So I'm in the Embassy Gardens area in Nine Elms, to the north of the tube station, and yes, this is silhouetted on purpose, and yes, the camera angle is weird on purpose, because what you haven't realised yet, if you didn't know, is that this is a swimming pool. That is the Sky Pool. It is 35 metres above ground, and it links the two apartment blocks together, and I believe if you're a resident here, then you can go swimming up there, up high. And there's a real sense that the redevelopment work at Nine Elms is still taking place, and I'm trying to imagine what the old station, goods yard and loco yard used to look like in this area. There are links in the description to other videos that I found. But now I have to go for a walk. There's one thing I really want to do though, and I've just pressed start on my stopwatch, and that is to discuss the fact that Nine Elms up to Vauxhall tube station on the Victoria line, just up there, is I think about a 10-minute walk. Now on Google Maps it says it's actually 12 minutes. I think I can maybe do it in 8 or 9, but what intrigues me about that is that it's not an official OSI, an out of station interchange. That is when You can break your journey if you're tapping in and out with your Oyster. You can make a connection between two stations and it treats it as one journey, and it's not on the official OSI list that TfL provide, and I'm kind of surprised because I thought that this might have been an out of station interchange, and if I can walk it in under 10 minutes, 10 minutes to me feels like the sort of connection time that should be worthy. So the stopwatch is running, and whilst I walk there to time it to see how long it takes, we're going to have a quick word from this video's sponsor. As you may know, Surfshark have servers in over 100 countries around the world, with the main benefit being that you can switch your location on your phone, tablet, laptop or computer. This allows you to, for example, to get a better price when shopping for something online, as it can often be cheaper when bought from a different location. And another popular use is for streaming services, as you can watch different content depending on where you are in the world. So with Surfshark, you switch up your location and you can easily access different streaming content. Surfshark also encrypts your internet connection, which gives you an additional layer of protection online as it hides your digital identity, and unlike other VPNs, Surfshark can be used across multiple platforms on an unlimited number of devices from just one account. So if you want to secure your online privacy, then go to this link, that's surfshark.com/Geoff, where you'll get 4 months extra for free, and there's a 30-day money-back guarantee as well. Just coming to the bus station there. Got my stopwatch. I shall stop it at the top of the stairs, and that is stopping now at exactly 7 minutes and 30 seconds. So sure, Google say you can do it in 12 minutes. I've walked it in 7.5. People's walking speed varies, but you could totally do that as a connection. So TfL, could you consider maybe making Nine Elms to Vauxhall as an OSI? That would be great. And also, another really pertinent thing about this connection is that a lot of people ask me, Tube Challenge, when I did World Record Tube Challenge, there was only 270 stations, and now with Nine Elms and Battersea Power Station is 272. And the idea is, well, how would you add those two stations into the Tube Challenge network? And I would use that connection that I just did. So I'd be coming up the Northern Line, say from Morden, change at Stockwell, go down to Brixton, and then as you headed north, reverse at Brixton, back on the Victoria Line, get out here at Vauxhall, run down the road in about 4 minutes to Nine Elms, jump on the train, go down to Battersea, reverse back to Nine Elms, get out again, run back to Vauxhall, another 4 minutes, and carry on. Should add about 10, 12, 14 minutes to your overall time. That's how I would do the Battersea extension. Now it's at this point in the video that I obviously come up with an anagram of the station name of the place where we're at, which I'm happy to do, and pleasingly it's all one word. But to extend that fun, as Nine Elms brought us a new station with a number in its name, I've tried making a whole top 10 of stations which also have numbers, and if you include national rail stations, as well as 6 Mile Bridge in Ireland, then you can get all of these, but nothing for numbers 1, 8 and 10, unless you can tell me otherwise, of course. And then, one of the greatest things about Nine Elms has to be that on a sunny day, if you pick the right time when the sun is overhead, then something like this photo is possible, where the sunlight streams through the window for an incredible photo like this. My thanks to friend tube mapper Luke for discovering this and taking this photo. Try it yourself sometime on a sunny day. And then I just want to take a train one stop, this time heading south along the new extension, to go to Battersea Power Station. Yeah, I've come to Battersea Power Station because there's one more thing to show you. It would just be odd to come to the Nine Elms Battersea branch of the Northern Line and not show you this one final thing, which I haven't featured in a main video, a new thing that has opened since 2021. So this is a new entrance exit which wasn't there when the station opened in 2021. Go through the ticket barriers as per normal, but this time go right, and that takes you down to this end of the station where there's a new lift and a new set of escalators which brings you up outside into the Battersea Power Station area onto an area known as Electric Boulevard. And so that is the new entrance exit to Battersea Power Station, along with Nine Elms down there, the Northern Line extension which came out here back in, was it, September 2021? Part of the 2020s decade, and that brings to the end this last episode of the Decade series. But I have in the meantime been thinking of another series idea so that I continue to get around all the tube stations, so that maybe in the end I'll have a playlist of just 272 tube stations, so that in one form or another, in one series or another, will have made a video, an in-depth video about every tube station on the network. So in the next month or next few weeks, expect the first in a new series to take us on to yet more tube stations that I have yet to cover with videos. So that is it. That is Nine Elms. That is the end of the Decade's new series to come. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.